Hi there, I'm Terry Hollenbach, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Monday Morning Manager, where we go through and review some management tips that will get you started off right in your coming work week. The particular tip that I'm going to be going over this week is one that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is the biggest mistakes that I made when I was a new boss. And we're really just going to be focusing on one for this week because it is a doozy. It not only trapped me, but it also got a lot of the other managers that I had the opportunity to mentor and work with through the years. That big mistake, thinking because you're the boss, you're the one who's supposed to supply all the answers. And that just simply isn't the case. When an employee comes to you with a problem, there are about 1 in 4 possibilities that you can do to help them solve that. Number one, you can just sit there and listen. Sometimes it's not a matter of there's a real problem. Your employees are smart, they know how to do their job. A lot of times it's just a matter of they're really stressed right at the moment and they need someone to just sit there and listen to them until they can calm down, focus on the issue, and work to get it resolved. They're perfectly capable of doing that. They don't want you taking it away from them. They just want the opportunity to vent for a moment and give them that opportunity. The second possibility is you can sit there and you can listen to them and you can help them come up with a solution. But again, they're the ones who do that work every day. They know how to do their job most of the time, and they're just seeking a little bit of assistance. You can kind of ask good questions to help them draft their own solution. And the extra benefit of that one, if they draft their own solution, they're going to feel a lot better about it. They're going to own it and they're going to go through and they're going to fix it and make sure that the problem gets handled. The third solution is a little bit more difficult for some people because they can't let go of ego. And that is, you don't know the answer, but you're going to refer them to somebody who does. There's nothing wrong with not having experience in absolutely every category. That's why we have different departments at different organizations. Some people are just going to have more experience in other areas than you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you know who those people are so that you can help your employees find the right person. The fourth is going back, and that is you as the manager supplying the answer. You're going to go through, you're going to do the research, you're going to make those contacts, you're going to look it up, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to share it. And honestly, again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's whatever works in your particular situation. But that should really be the fourth out of the 4 options. Just listen. Try to help them come up with a solution for themselves so that they can own it, or try to get them to the right person. If they can hear from that person directly, that just saves you being the middleman or the person who has to distill what that individual, that resource told you, and then spit it back out to the employee. And you may have additional questions after you get in. The reason I was reminded of this particular topic this week was I caught an episode of The Office that I was a huge fan of, and it is when Michael takes over for Toby as the human resource boss for the day. It wasn't something that Toby had planned. Michael just wanted to prove that Toby wasn't doing his job and that he could do it way better than Toby could. He pulls out a bunch of HR files and just says, "Hey, Toby's been hiding these. He hasn't been dealing with your problems. We're going to go through and we're going to solve them." And by the end of the day, he had everybody upset and where they weren't talking to each other. In this case, Toby normally did what suggestion number one was. He would just listen, he would let people vent, he would allow them to get it off their chest, and then realize that they were just going to move on. Michael completely ignored that, not realizing that it was some of the best advice that he had ever ignored. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I hope you like and subscribe below and tune in for next week's episode of the Monday Morning Manager.